EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, and they are in full roar as you get a look inside Lumen Field in Seattle. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Murray getting this out wide to Hopkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a first down. Play fake. Murray. They'll roll him out right. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 33 yards that time.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Murray now to throw. Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Murray. Dancing to his left. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Murray going to fire one out wide. Touchdown! DeAndre Hopkins from 6 yards away. And the Cardinals are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Sticking with Walker on second down. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Now back to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cardinals. Josh Jacobs, 67 yards. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Zach Ertz has it complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cardinals continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Walker now on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. 21-0 our score after 1. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Murray now. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick.
They have been struggling to put points on the board so far. And while you don't want to lump it all on the rookie quarterback, he's definitely the root cause. And all rookies, they have those learning experiences in their first year. What they're hoping for is that he can learn on the fly, work through his struggles against his defense, and at the same time, still find a way to put them in a position to win.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around, and we know they'll be here before you know it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd and short, to give to the tight end. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, it'll be 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Throwing now is Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And it bangs off the right upright, no good. And this will remain an 18-point lead. So from nothing less there than chip shot distance, a tough miss from the right hash mark.
Well, this is just a wobbler. I mean, he knows he's got to get it going left, but that was right all the way.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 56 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. He'll drop to throw. Walker puts it on the carpet. It's out. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. There are 2 words that we hear. Coaches say all of the time, one starts with and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
Check 50, check 50. Show it in, show it in.
Here's Walker. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks get a bit closer. Extra point splits the uprights, and it makes the score 21-10. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Murray off play action. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Murray. Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A Cardinal 1st down, Murray to Hopkins. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Locates Ertz going across the middle. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Flush to his right. That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Cardinals would extend their lead here just before halftime. The extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. 4 seconds, all that remain here in this 1st half as the kick gets away. Taken in at the 3. And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll throw now on the final play. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Being chased out left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 4th down, Pete Carroll's going to call out his field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Murray. Ertz over the middle. The 20. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Finding more on the out route for the completion. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And it'll be second down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
98 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Power on power, but he's not going to get in. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means...
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Josh Jacobs saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Cardinals take a 3-touchdown lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Out of the gun now on third down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And the Cards will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down at the 25-yard line. A huge play there for Arizona. 44 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Murray's throw complete there to Moore. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Some of the big boppers in the game traditionally have been safeties, and he certainly fits that mold. He lets his pads do his talking.
On 2nd and 12, Murray. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
From the gun, Murray. as he throws and the ball is out. It's a live football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And there is a lot of shock in the stadium. The top seed, the favorites, really getting handled thus far in this divisional round and getting close to a disappointing one-and-done scenario in these playoffs. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Trey Flowers picks it, and they will score. It's a pick-6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Oh, he tried to pitch it and the ball's loose. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, either way, they were getting the ball back.
And it was 4th down. Don't you have to try and take a shot anyway instead of trying to ground it? That didn't work at all.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Good job.
Cliff Kingsbury here on 4th down. Trots out the field goal unit. From the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
That's caught over the middle by Fant. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, well, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go. And that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
Yeah, it seems like they've been running uphill all game. They'll try and throw for it. Flushed out right. And this is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Murray's going to look to throw this thing. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown.